Cato and the Late Show Band, everybody. They are the greatest band on television. Dynamic septet. Septet? Seven? There you go. Folks, if you watch the show, you know I spend most of my time right over there fashioning the day's biggest news into a sleek and topical black and tan body with decorative hand-painted stenciling and patent leather dash wings to lead you through the story snow aboard the elegant Courier and Ives Albany Cutter horse-drawn sleigh that is my monologue. But sometimes I and my fellow climbers are stranded on a high-altitude bluff where I do not resort to cannibalism, but instead I sit inside a human rib cage that I happen to find and then bum skid down Outcast Mountain on the bone toboggan of news that is my segment. Meanwhile. This is how you drive it. Yeah. You gotta drive the train.
Come on. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in food news, 7-Eleven has just announced that Green Day's Slurpee is here, and it's called Punk Bunny Kerplunk Candy Grape. What a fitting tribute to punk rock. It reminds me of the short-lived collab between Megadeth and Charmin's boysenberry-scented flushable wipes. The Kerplunk Candy Grape flavor is a reference to Green Day's 1992 album Kerplunk, which is bound to be more successful than the Slurpee inspired by their 1994 album, Dookie. Meanwhile, yesterday, an overturned truck covered a Texas highway in 8 million dimes, sparking a wild frenzy of drivers picking up like 3 dimes and saying, "This is actually hard, let's just go." Meanwhile, in Virginia, a snake fell from a restaurant ceiling and landed in a diner's margarita. The incident happened at Patron Mexican Restaurant and Cantina, and sometimes ceiling snakes. Meanwhile, if you are a watcher of the royal family and you like secrets, you might want to sit down because this is a doozy. Meghan Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H. What could it be? A mystery for the ages. Now, we all have our theories, of course. Here's mine. I assumed it was for the obvious reason. M is the 13th letter of the alphabet, and H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. 8 plus 13 is 21. 21 was Deion Sanders' number, and Deion Sanders' nickname was Neon Dion, obviously a reference to how they light up each other's lives.
Wow.
But no, Markle revealed that at the beginning of us dating, when everything was in code, I couldn't tell anyone who I was dating and who was keeping the secret, so I think we were just on a letter basis. I get it. In the 80s, I dated a very famous woman whose identity I will never reveal and only ever refer to her using our secret nickname, Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher.
Wow. Y'all look good, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all look good. What happened?
I forgot how similar our haircuts were. Meanwhile, in order to prevent imprinting on humans, the Bronx Zoo is using a realistic puppet to feed a newly hatched king vulture chick. Unfortunately, the only puppet they had was Yoda. As you can see, the baby vulture has a thick coat of soft white juvenile feathers, and experts say that is because he is a pimp.
Hey.
Meanwhile, according to a new study, drinking champagne could reduce the risk of sudden cardiac arrest. Unfortunately, it increases the risk of getting wasted at brunch and spending your Sunday afternoon passed out on one of the IKEA sample beds. Meanwhile, in celebrity food opinion news, Glen Powell's unconventional waffle topping has people turning their heads. Oh, sure. That's why Glen Powell is turning your wife's head. It's his waffle topping. This area down here. Those abs, is that the waffle we're talking about? In a recent interview, Powell revealed, "I've actually started loving ketchup on waffles." That is disgusting. And I bet once they learn that, women will still want to have sex with him. Meanwhile, news for fans of olden days and athletics, because an ancient sport involving a horse, bow, and arrow is rising in popularity. That sport? Horse archery. We'll be right back with Walton Goggins.